you a little bit about my journey. Um, I grew up in Tallahassee, Florida, born and raised. I don't know if you guys have heard of Tallahassee, but it's the capital of Florida. And my mother, at my age 2, she was a divorced mother of 3, trying to raise 3 small kids. And she remarried when I was about 6. But I remember my first job was with her. She was working her way through for nursing school, so she did domestic work. I don't know if anybody know what domestic work is. That's house cleaning, where she went into white people's houses and cleaned. So I was 6. She said, "You want to go to work with me?" I said, "Sure." I think I made a quarter that day. I don't know. She gave me a little, a couple of nickels or something. But I remember cleaning toilets and floors and helping my mother while she was also working at a hotel to put herself through nursing school. And then we lived in it was a 3-room apartment in the projects. And what I vividly remember as a young child that it had a bathroom but no tub, no shower. So we had one of these big galvanized tubs, and my mother used to have to boil water and pour it in that tub, and that's how we bathed every night. Me, my brother, my sister, and my mother. And then, like I said, she got married. My stepfather was just wonderful. They both he was a policeman, then became a lieutenant in the sheriff department. She was a nurse. So we started living sort of middle-class life and went on vacation once a year. I went to a shout-out to FAMU back there because I did attend Florida A&M University, HBCU, where... Thank you, my brother, where I got BS in accounting. And my last year of college, I took on a job with IBM. I was recruited by IBM, upstate New York, Poughkeepsie. Has anybody heard of Poughkeepsie, New York? Okay, yeah, Poughkeepsie. I spent about 5 years there and then transferred with McDonald's, because we used to say IBM stood for I've been moved, because they move you around like crazy. So I relocated down to Boca Raton, back to my home state, where they were just starting up the PC division, where we just started with the personal computers. And I was an accounting manager. Well, right around my 10th year, IBM being so top-heavy with employees, they never laid off. You never heard of that company laying off people. But at this particular time, it was in 1989, they said, we're going to offer this program where you can do an early retirement. And it was with a lump sum of money. But it was more money than I had ever seen. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to take it, I was just turning 30. I said, I was working in accounting, but I was working so hard. I would be working, doing planning cycles when I was in cost accounting, to leaving the site at like 12 midnight. I have to call security to come and walk me to my car. It was so late. I said, if I'm going to put these kind of hours in, I might as well work for myself. I want to do something on my own. So I started going out doing, looking at different franchise opportunities. I bought the Franchise 500 book. I was looking at different things. So I started applying to like Dunkin' Donuts, Hallmark, Subway, and got accepted into a few of them. But then I had a friend that actually worked at McDonald's regional office in Boca Raton at the time. He said, "Won't you apply at McDonald's?" I said, they gave me money, but not that much money. I don't think I can afford a McDonald's, But back then, McDonald's were bringing in a lot of African Americans. They were really trying to diverse. And they had this program called, it's a lease to buy program. However, with the money I did have, I was able to come in as a conventional method where I had to put 25% down and then finance the rest. So my first McDonald's, like I said, was in Plainfield, New Jersey. I still call that my baby, back in 1994. So I've been an operator now almost 28 years, well, no, over 28 years, almost 29. And I am just so happy that my son is going to be coming in to take over this legacy. And Mayor Warren, you probably haven't seen me in the last 3 years last 2 years because I've taken on another 3 restaurants, and it's been really crazy. It's been a lot of time up in Patterson. I don't know if some of you live or know Patterson area, but I do have 2 restaurants there, one on Crooks Avenue and one on Market Street, which is the just an inline restaurant. It's not a drive-through. And then I have 2 in Passaic. And we are hiring. I know this is our slowest period right now because January and February sales, people just don't spend money. They stay home. It's cold. But we will be ramping back up hiring in March. We give scholarships. We pay for tuition also, tuition reimbursement. If you work 15 hours for me a week, you get up to $2,500 a year. In management, you get $3,000. So there's always opportunities. You can have a bright career with McDonald's. It doesn't just stay at the restaurant level. You can go out into corporate. McDonald's has, about 38,000 restaurants worldwide. About 14,000 of those restaurants are in the U.S. And of that 14,000, 95% are owned by people like me. The other 5% is owned by McDonald's Corp. So again, like I said, we will be hiring, and I'm gonna let my son say a few words, and then if y'all have any questions, answer. Did you have a question, baby? You know, I don't know that number right offhand, but I know we sell to 69 million people a day. We have 69 million folks coming to our restaurant. We're about 68 years old, so it's an old company. I think we're going to be around. We're going to hit 100 too, just like all these Divine Nines have hit over a century. Oh. How do they make their fries? It's really, McDonald's has come a long, long way. When we first started, we had 3 items on the menu: fries, hamburgers, and milkshakes. And, and soda, I guess 4 things. But the French fries, we used to fry them in beef talent, or now we use canola oil. It's zero trans fat, so we just put them in a basket. We have an automatic fry dispenser that dispenses the fries, and we just put them in the basket. And McDonald's is we're even looking at some things where we won't have anybody dropping those. We will have an arm that come and bring them. So we're automating a lot of our processes. You got another question? Yeah, maybe.
Raise your hand. Stand up. Stand up.
Yeah. 55, it was when we became a franchise. How many years is that? About 68 years ago, yeah. Mm-hmm. Is that about right? Nah, okay, I'm doing my math. I know we're coming up on 70 years, and it's just phenomenal. We're the largest, and I'm going to say the best fast food. And we always get all the attacks, but that's okay.
Okay, so we're gonna go in the back. Okay, stand up.
Oh, the pandemic taught us a lot of lessons, and one of the lessons was just we need to simplify our kitchen. I think the snack wraps are going to come back, though. We don't have salads now either. I think those are going to come back, but in a different form. We just had so many products, and when we had to streamline and we simplify because during the pandemic, we lost a lot of employees. People were not coming to work. It was a tough time, but we pushed through, and thank you guys to all the communities that supported us, and we supported the community back. So I just want to say, so that will probably come back, because we have all the products in the store now. It's just making them. Because we do burritos.
All right, so we'll do 2 more questions. Who hasn't asked a question that would like to answer a question? Let's give some other people a chance. All right, so we'll go with the sugar man here and the sugar man here.
That's good. Oh, they were on a spindle machine. And you just put the ice cream in a cup, and it's called a multi-mixer. And it was founded by Ray Kroc, who's our founder. And he actually was he was a multi-mixer seller. And that's how he met Dick and Mac McDonald's, the two brothers that had the fast food hamburger joint out in California. We do have a dairy farm. We have a beef farm. We have a potato farm. I'm sure all of that comes from one of those farms, and they're all spread throughout the country. All our different suppliers. McDonald's is known. What we do, we call the three-legged stool. You have the franchisees, which are me. McDonald's is a franchisor. And then we have our suppliers and vendors who all partner, but the three of us work together. Yeah, we don't make it, but we have others, and
How much do you pay students when they come to work at the How old are you?
Well, right now we're bringing them in at 16. You can legally work in New Jersey at 14 and 15, but we don't because there's a lot of restrictions for our 14 and 15-year-olds. And we're with the minimum wage. We're starting at $14.15. I think it's $14.13. But adults, we're paying $14.25. But again, there's an opportunity. I have people who've worked with me for over 20, 25 years, and they're around 17, 18. Management, there's management opportunities like crazy. And like I said, I have a infrastructure now that I have 10 restaurants. I have 4 or 5 supervisors. I have a facility maintenance person who take care of all my equipment. I have a director of operations. So, and the director, my supervisors are all making in excess of 75 to 80,000. My director is up around 125, 130, and most of my store managers, somewhere between 50 and 65 or 70,000. Depending on how long they've been there.
All right, last 2 questions. This young man here. There was
What happened to
McDonald's land? But you mean playlands? The playlands, yes. Some of the restaurants still have them, but there was some concerns with the big pit balls and the other climbing apparatus. But some of the restaurants still have the climbing apparatus, but most of them have the little games you can play. The what do you call those games? Yeah, video games. Yeah, not the video games. I'm so out of tune with all that now because he doesn't live with me anymore. But
all right, last question.
Do you guys still have beef with Burger King?
beef with Burger King? Not really. We just want to let them go ahead and close all their restaurants while we open more.
All right, before we move on, we have 2 school board members that joined us. Vice President of the School Board, Ms. Grace Sandy. Give her a round of applause. And I believe Mr. Henry, school board member, is in as well. Mr. Henry, here. All right, we'll turn it over to Alana.
Okay, and then I'll wrap up once he finishes.
All right, so real quick, let me get a quick gauge of the room. How many people here are 16? Anyone 16 here? Raise your hands high. I just want to know. 15? Okay, 14? 13? 12? 11? Okay. 10 years old? See you, my man. All right. That's amazing you guys are all here. Thank you again for being here. My name's Elijah. I am a son. I have been working at McDonald's as well over the last, I would say 10, 11 years on and off. I grew up in West Orange, right here, born and raised. I went to New York University, Stern School of Business. I studied marketing and management. I graduated from NYU in 2017. Okay. Beginning, oh yeah, about 5 years. I'm 27 right now. So yeah, not that old. I, growing up, was all into everything. Sports, music, school. I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do, but I know I wanted to be successful at what that was. Right? I would play basketball, football, ran track. I ended up going to NYU and ran track for the college there as well. So, helped me get in. Took that, used that education to really, further myself and be who I am today. A couple of other things I did before I got into McDonald's full time. Again, I started when I was 15, just regular employee, cashier, minimum wage, didn't know what I was doing, but I still to this day will say McDonald's is the best first job you can ever have. Alright? It's not just about learning how to make food, learning how to take orders, dealing with customers. It's more than that. It's about the skills you learn that you can take for the rest of your life. Alright? Leadership skills, communication skills, teamwork, building, how to deal with conflict. You've all seen customers be rude and obnoxious, right? Karen, we don't want them. But you gotta know how to deal with them, right? You gotta know how to deal with them. Cancel them? No. Not everyone. You gotta be able to, be respectful, be professional in how you handle the situation. That's something that McDonald's is. I took a little sidestep after I graduated college. I went to a company called BMI, it's a music business company. I worked there for a couple of years learning more about the corporate side of America. I was, working in New York, suit, dress shirt, tie every day, really worked on networking, learning how to work in a professional environment and really just learn about, who I was and what I wanted to do for myself long term. Right? After that, came back. I knew I always kind of wanted to work with among here in the business and take it on one step at a time. So came back, became a manager, general manager. Now I'm currently a supervisor in the program to be a franchise owner myself. If all goes well, by the end of 2023, I should be a approved operator as well. And it's a long time coming, but and it's not easy at all. It's a lot of work, but in the end, it'll always be worth it. I want to say quickly before I wrap up, we get to more questions. There are things that we need to do now while you're at this age to be able to be where you want to be, when you're my age, right? As young men, we are very, I would say, at times impulsive. We are very quick thinking in the now. And I want you guys to, at some point, start really thinking towards the future, all right? We all have, things we're into now, but what is that going to do for us long term? What is that going to do for us 5 years from now, 10 years from now? Where do you want to be, and how do you get yourself there? All right? Who here, so let's say the 16, 15-year-old, maybe 14, who here currently has a job? That's good. We got one right here.
I think we have two at this table here.
Good job. Again, for us specifically, we have more 16, 17-year-olds. You're here. But that doesn't mean you can't make money doing other things, all right? Other places will hire you. You can, everyone can say that you can do chores. You can cut grass. You can, when snow comes, you can start shoveling some snow. I want you guys to start focusing on finances now. A lot of things that I did not know when I was your age was how to handle and manage money properly. All right. Again, I started at 15, my small paycheck, but automatically went into a savings account, start building up your wealth, start building up your credit. And again, it's not easy, but I want you guys to, if you are making money, use it wisely. Spend it wisely. If you need help, talk to your parents, talk to the mentors here, and all the other mentors, and figure out how to really set yourself up for success.
Yeah, I just have one last thing as I wrap up, because Mr. Barry told me to talk about how I've been a successful entrepreneur. And there's 3 things to make an entrepreneur successful. First is responsibility. You take responsibility and have all the responsibility for all the decisions that you make. There's going to be failure along the way, but you just pick yourself back up and keep going. Failure is good, but you learn from those failures. And second is to have a positive mindset. You know, if you're positive, you can do anything. Positive is greatness. Having a positive mindset. You can't do it all yourself as an entrepreneur. You have to delegate. And I have to learn. That's one of the toughest things, is I try to do it all, but you can't. So you have to let other people take on the day-to-day operations while you can continue with the growth and strategy of your business. And the last is to, I guess, just finding your passion. Think, feeling, and choosing your thoughts are paramount and fundamental factors that shape your results. And there are many people who have succumbed to what other people think about them. Don't worry about what other people think about you. You just make sure you set your own destiny and you don't let them define you. And I just think to accomplish great things, you must not only have a plan, but you also have to dream. You have to start, it starts with dreams. Once you have those dreams, then they can parlay into plans. But you also not only have to have a plan, you have to also believe and have faith. Know your superpowers. You all have superpowers. Everybody in this room is good and great at something. You might not be the same greatness as someone else, but you have your own individual greatness. Know your superpower. I find my superpower to be flexible and adaptable. I have to be flexible in this business. McDonald's changing things every day on us, but we have to be flexible. So that's it. Thank you. I don't know if we have time for any more questions.
Thank you, Ms. Adelaide. Thank you, Elijah, for your words. Responsibility. I want you guys, if there's one thing I want you to leave here today, it's responsibility.
Sometimes there's no one else who loves me like you used to. Sometimes we're not ourselves. There's no one I can